Hi guys, I'm back with a new game, and in this one I'm going to talk through how me and my friends have found our way around Fort Narith. There are two parts to this video depending on where you want to go and what your goals are. If you're attempting to get to the headquarters, where a majority of the missions are, including killing the boss, then stay here. Otherwise, the second part of the video shows the best route to the barracks, which has a ton of loot and different tasks, as well as a good loot spot for an M2 vest. Hopefully you enjoy this one. I've enjoyed this game a lot so far and I've got a real passion for learning about it. By the way, if you're a Lamang faction and you happen to have the Blue Lagoon storage key, hit me up on Discord and we'll get something sorted. Once you got off the helicopter, slowly move towards the south entrance. Check towards the road for any AI, also check within the compound itself as well as to your right towards the village. They can sometimes spawn over there and they might aggro you. Try and walk very slowly to make sure that they don't aggro if possible, because if you start sprinting they'll hear you. And once you get up to this doorway, make sure you check left and right for AI. My gun was weirdly zeroed in this clip. Another good way to make some money is by picking up the uppers from these rifles. I believe they're a 4 slot and they sell for about 200, so it's really not too bad. This wasn't a tip that I found out, this was from Sinister FPS. Next, follow this wall all the way down until you see these little sheds. And once you get to here, make sure you kill some AI that spawn here. There's normally 1, 2 maybe, and then from that you'll be good. If players have already been to the fort, you might find around this point there might be some AI that are aggro down on this road. So listen out for any voice lines on that, but luckily in this run I didn't have any. There could also be some up by the door into the headquarters. However, again on this run there wasn't any there, so just make sure you peek that first. Once the coast is clear, make a run onto the other side of the road and head towards the inside of the headquarters. Once you're inside, you want to make sure that you clear the close sides. Once you've cleared the inside hall, you want to make a dart for the room on the left, which you can hide into, pack some mags, eat some food, and heal if you need to. By now you've surely killed quite a few AI, so at this point you'll hear a lot of voice lines around you as the different AI starts aggro. You can actually use this room basically as a base, and you can wait for the AI to push you, or you can keep peeking around the corners if you want to try and take out some AI as I do here. This peek here can sometimes be a little bit risky as quite a few AI can be in this hallway, but if you look through the glass you can make sure it's clear and try and take some shots through it, as I find that AI aren't very good at shooting through that glass. Or you can kind of wait for them to push you, kind of just kill some more AI out the windows, try and shoot some as they come down the hallway, and they should slowly push to you. If you eat as well, they seem to push to you a little bit faster, and if you take some shots sometimes. So you can use that to advantage if you want to have the AI come towards you. I also managed to kill the boss here for my mission, which was pretty nice. From here, it's just a game of patience. You can either take it very slowly, wait for the AI to push you, and you can then go out and kill them, or you can play a little bit more aggressive, try and push them, kill any outside and whatnot, try and get them to push you even more so that you can get the kills even faster. From here, clearing the HQ is really simple. Again, just take it slow, and then you can go to any of your mission rooms. Don't forget to loot up as well. Anything from the uppers to scopes to different helmets can sell for a good amount, so make sure you pick up those to make some good money during this run as well. By this point, depending on how much time you've spent in the fort, some of the AI might have already respawned, so heading out to the roof here can be a really good way to look down and check for any more AI that you want to kill. Remember, any AI that you kill could potentially spawn with a key, which you might need for a later quest, so it's always worth trying to kill the ones nearby that you'll know you're able to loot. That's why I recommend taking time inside the headquarters, making sure that you loot absolutely every single body, because any of those keys could be really important later down the line. Once you're ready to leave, go back the exact same way you came, and feel free to loot any of the AI that you killed on the way here. just make sure that it's still safe, because that AI's equivalent might have already respawned and could be just around the corner waiting for you to loot. Right now, you can see me looting the boss who has that decked out AK and the Blackberry, in case you wondered. I recommend just taking the gun with you, sending it back to gunning and making a good bit of money just from that. Now, follow the same path back towards Delta 1 and just keep an eye out for any respawned AI, and then you'll be absolutely fine. You can also try and use the crack in the wall on the left hand side on the way back that we walk past on the way here if you want to be a little bit more risky, but the issue is some of the AI from the village might have run down to the bushes depending on where you aggravated AI earlier, so that's always a little bit of a risk. But you can try it if you want. I recommend just going back the exact same route that we came here with, and yeah, you'll be absolutely fine. Next is the path to the barracks. I recommend either going through this village because they drop some keys which you might be able to grab to help you in Vault Narith later, or you can go around if you'd rather not, and then you slowly move towards the northeast corner of the fort. On the way up, the only AI you really need to worry about are the ones that can spawn in the watchtower. This is actually the first time I've ever seen 2 spawn here before, and I blame that leaf for the fact that I didn't kill the second one. Once you've aggravated one, they normally run down the stairs, and they're therefore no longer a threat. They're only really a threat when they're actually in the tower itself, so even just taking shots towards them to make them run away also works absolutely fine. In my run, because I took a little bit of damage, I moved out a little bit too far to the right, which caused me to run into the AI that spawn over at this village. However, if there's one at the road, they might aggravate you, but they're really quite easy to kill, so I wouldn't worry about that one too much. And from there, you can carry on running up to the hole in the wall. Use this dead ground to stay in cover all the way up to the hole. In this run, I got quite lucky that there were some other players here who had cleared out some of the AI. However, check close left, close right for any sort of voice lines or anything. The AI in Fort Narith themselves really aren't that difficult to kill. They actually don't have very good AI compared to, for example, the ones at the very north end of Tiger Bay. They're definitely much stronger than these guys. Although these guys have better loot, they're definitely not as good at shooting. So once you cleared it, you can start moving towards the barracks. Once you get to this point, I would recommend running across and you'll be able to get into the first barrack. Just jump up, open the door and run into the first room possible. My mission was actually at the other barrack, so I made sure this crossing was safe, and then I ran across. I had to go to a 102, I believe, or 105, one of those two. So I ran down the corridor until I saw my room, and I dipped straight inside, making sure that I closed the door behind me. Listen out for AI in this barracks. The one that's more south has a top floor, which AI can stand in. The one more to the north, which I was in earlier, does have a top floor, which I think AI can spawn on. However, you can't actually access it, so don't worry about voice lines coming from that side of the barracks too much. Once you finish your tasks, I want you to head northwest, and I'm going to show you a really nice little area with some nice loot. I've never seen this place not spawn an M2 armor piece, which I think is the best in the game. It's a 3x4 level 3 or 3 plus, whichever one's the highest. I think it's 3 plus. Following that route southwest, past the shooting range and over the hill, you get down to this little metal fence. Now, I'm not sure whether this is intended, but under these fences there are these little holes that you can crawl through, as you'll see me do in a second. Simply prone down, crawl underneath, and you can get through. This eliminates a lot of time and a lot of unnecessary PvE fights. So going through here can always be a good idea. I'm going to watch out for AI here. There's normally 2 to 3 that spawn. So I hear another voice line here and I decide just to chuck a grenade to make my life easier. And as you can see, that killed the AI down at the bottom. Just check this top area and a little bit down the road to make sure there's no more AI, because they can spawn down the road as I see here. Once I make sure I've dealt with both of those, you can head down here and there's a small black box in the very back corner which has some super good loot. As you can see there, I got the M2 armor piece, which I decided to swap out my one for, as it has more storage in the inside. You can always take your armor in your backpack with you if you wanted to make sure that you don't lose it, because these things can be quite expensive. Once you're finished looting, head back the way you came, underneath the metal fence, and then hold the right hand side, Here, you can't get back over the brick wall that you came across. Instead, you need to follow down until you find this white wall in the corner, hop over, and you're back in the shooting range. From here, go back the way you came and exfil.